Okay, chapter 6, lesson 2.2. So today we're going to be working more with percents and proportions, and we have been working on this for a few days now, so the majority of this should be a review for you. The three things I want you to remember is we use is over of to help us, is over of, part over whole, and the last one is percent over 100. You should already have that written in your notebook by now, but it's just a good refresher as we start this lesson. So let's go ahead and look at what we're doing today. Percent of a number. Use a proportion to find any percent of a number. So at a banquet, 65% of those attending ordered chicken dinner. If 120 people attended the banquet, how many ordered chicken dinner? So let's go ahead and highlight our important information. Here we have the number 65%. And then I also have that a total of 120 people attended the banquet, and I want to know how many ordered the chicken dinner. And up here, this 65% is also who ordered chicken dinner. So what I can do is I know that my percent is always going to go over 100. So I would say 65% over 100. Now I need to figure out with the other information, do they give me part or wholes? So here, it says 65% ordered chicken dinner. And I want to know how many ordered chicken dinner out of a total of 120. So my whole would be 120. And I'm looking for the quantity that ordered chicken dinner. From here, I would use cross products to help me. So I would do 65 times 120 equals 100 times x. And 65 times 120 equals 7,800 equals 100x. So now in order to isolate my variable, it is being multiplied by 100, so the inverse operation would be division, so I'm going to divide by 100 on both sides. And that would give me x equals 78. So let's go ahead and check if that makes sense with our answer. How many ordered chicken dinner out of 120? 78. And 78 is more than half of 120, and 65% is more than half of 100. So that answer would make sense. Okay, so here's some practice. So what I want you to do is go ahead and pause the video and see if you can set up the proportions for these four problems before you solve. Then go ahead and click play, and then afterwards go ahead and solve them on your own. Okay, so here it says what number is 76%. So I'm looking for my is. It says what number is. So I don't know what the is, and my is my numerator. 76% of 25. So my of would be 25. And the reason I know 76 is not my denominator is because percent always goes over 100. And then I'd use cross products to solve, which we'll do afterwards. This next one, I'm going to look for my percent right away. So here we have a percent, so percent goes over 100. And then I need to figure out what I'm looking for. What is 5% of 400? So is over of, so 400 would be my denominator. This next one, what number is 12%? So 12% goes as my numerator over 100 of 50. So right now what you're noticing is that my variable is always my numerator. And that's not going to be the case when we go into the next part of our lesson. So don't get tricked and just think that your x is always going to be your numerator. That's not the case. So this one right here, I have 37%. 37 would be my numerator over 100. And then what is 37% of 200? So of 200 would be my denominator. And I am looking for my is again. So now for all of these, you would use cross products to solve. So go ahead and pause, try to solve them on your own, and then come back and check your answers. Okay, so when you use cross products for number 4, you should have gotten 19. Number 5, you should have gotten 20. Number 6, you should have gotten 6. And number 7, you should have gotten 74. If you made a mistake, my guess is that you just multiplied wrong. So go ahead and try that again before you move on. If you're still struggling with your cross products, go ahead and highlight these problems and we will review them afterwards. Okay, so finding a base. When asked to find a base in a percent problem, you solve for B in the proportion. So A over B equals P over 100. And we're going to use cross products. So this is a little bit of a different example where the X might not always be the numerator. So here it says 40 is 80% of what number? So my percent always goes over 100. So that should be the easiest part for you. And then they said 40 is. So they gave you your is, that is your numerator. And you're looking for the of what number? So my X would be my denominator. In the previous problems, my X was always my numerator. But now I'm looking for the of part or the whole part. So now I'd use cross products. 100 times 40 would give me 100 times 40 and then 80 times X. 100 times 40 would give me 4,000 equals 8X. And then I need to isolate my variable, so I would divide both sides by 8. This would give me X on this side. And I forgot to put 80, not 8, sorry about that. And that would give me a total of 8 goes into 45 times, so this would be 50. Okay, so here are 4 more problems, which we're solving for the base. Go ahead and pause. I want you to set up your proportions first, pause, and then go ahead and check back in. Okay, so 14 is 56% of what number? So 14 is would be my numerator, and then 56% is always over 100, and then I'm looking for my of, and my of would be my denominator, so that would go as my bottom. 9 is, look at, they gave you that is again, so 9 is 45%, percent goes over 100, so 9 is 45% of what number? I'm looking for my of again. Number 10, 16 is, so 16 would be your numerator, 17%, percent always goes over 100, of what number? You're looking for the of again. And then here, 24 is 96% of what number? So that is how you set up the proportions. Now I want you to pause again and go ahead and use cross products to solve for each of these. Once you're done using cross products, go ahead and push play and check your work. Okay, so if you use cross products for 8, you should have gotten 25. 9, you should have gotten 20. 10, you should have gotten 94 and 2/17, or 94.12 if you round to the nearest hundredth. And then for number 11, X equals 25. And for problems like number 10, I would tell you to either leave it in a fraction form or round to the nearest hundredth or thousandth. Okay, so that is it for today's lesson. Below is your homework. You can go ahead and get started on it now.